use my phone to see, just to make sure we actually know. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, good evening.
Hey, how you ladies doing?
Good. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. We're ready for you.
Okay.
So tonight we're going to be talking about who's protecting the protectors. Who's protecting the protectors? So this episode was, we have a lot going on in the world right now, and we felt like you really fit. You have a lot going on in the world, and we feel like the Fatherhood Awards is happening around the perfect timing, and we kind of just wanted to zoom in on the things around us.
Okay.
Like to our society and the things that we're experiencing even during COVID-19, everything that's going on.
Okay.
That's talked about, brought to light, and some resolutions coming from places from us. So we wanted to get into that tonight. So one of the main things we're going to be talking about, well, the first topic we're talking about is the shootings that's been happening.
Okay.
You know, Ahmaud Arbery,
Yeah.
Taylor, you know, and more and more and more.
Right. Far too many. Far too many.
He was jogging in his own neighborhood. Yeah. He was shot. He was part of what he was part of the army? No, that was Ahmaud. Ahmaud was a part of the army. Ahmaud was a part of the army. Yeah. So, and he was a protector for our country. Yet he was treated like a slave. He was treated like somebody less than that didn't have any type of stature in our community, you know, and that all goes back down to, you know, Black people and what we stand for. And at the end of the day, we have a life that's worth living as well.
Sure.
We got to figure out how are we going to come together, stand strong, so our lives don't continue to be taken. So that's why this episode is called "Who is going to protect our protectors?"
I think that's a very apropos title.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I saw it, you know, I actually thought, you know, of course, that's what came to mind. And I thought, man, you know, they really picked a good title for the show, especially for where, you know, we are, what's happening in the client. And that's what you guys do with your show. You know, y'all always talking about something that's relevant, something that's happening. I've watched y'all show. Y'all cover things that are very jovial, you know, things that are allow a person to have their opinion. But this is a topic that I really think it's going to be hard to tackle. So let me say this. I'm sure that whatever we discuss tonight, it's not going to be an evening that actually solves the problem, right?
Right.
However, I think we do have to keep the conversation out front. We do have to keep the conversation, you know, in front of the public eye, you know, and even in my, you know, my house, me and wifey, you know, we have some conversations about it, and there are things that we agree on, and then there are things that we differ on. And then especially with, you know, a brother who's just out running and jogging. Now, I did see the additional video that came out. I don't know if y'all had a chance to see the additional
Was that
video.
at the construction site?
Yeah. So he was at the construction site. Now, me, man, I go on construction sites all the time. All of the time, you know, because we own a couple of rental properties. We're actually looking to do some other things as far as real estate investing goes. Even when we built our house, you know, we came and we walked through the house while it was being built, and the scene looked exactly like the scene that he was in. You know,
exactly. And so I say that because I recently went through that last year with my property. And every step of the way, I was in there.
But it was funny because when that video was actually released, it was released to help him.
Yep.
It wasn't released to hinder him, and they kind of use it to.
They're trying to flip it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, then, you know, my thing is this. And listen, man, I got a lot of different friends, a lot of different backgrounds, and we have these conversations, and then we have some tough conversations. And we have, on a lot of instances, agreed to just disagree, right?
Right.
But then when we look at the numbers and we look at the statistics of the end result, it's not the same. It's not the same on any level. When you look at the number of Black men that are actually killed, and whatever the incident is, versus, you know, those who don't get killed. I mean, listen, I don't want anybody to get killed, but
Exactly. Yeah.
we have to have some type of if it's all equal, if there are no other underlying conditions or circumstances, then the numbers would be on a lot of levels parallel, and that's not what's happening.
So in regards to that, my viewpoint regarding to our Black men, right?
Okay.
They are protectors, and we definitely need them. But I think it starts within our culture. Us feeling, we got to figure out, we got to stand strong together and not continue to hate on each other, and stand strong as a community and as a culture against the world that we're living in.
Well, listen, I want to say this because that's where it's going to have to start, right? I have one buddy of mine. He says, listen, man, we know that everybody's out there, you know, there aren't just a team of everybody in the country that's just all against us, right?
Right.
We do have to look at, you know, everything that comes into play with being able to defend yourself in court financially, how the court system is set up. I mean, man, if you can't bail yourself out, you're already screwed to start, right? But beyond that, you know, what he said was, listen, Mike, I'm not marching with anybody until we start dealing with what's happening within ourselves, right? If you want somebody else to respect you, we have to show that respect among each other. You know, we have to show respect, you know, for brother to brother and things like that. So, but let me say this. I know we're gonna get real deep, and I promised y'all I wanted to give y'all a nice surprise, right? The last time we spoke. And one of the things I did was I asked a friend of mine, I said, listen, man, there's a group of ladies that have love for you, just like my wife and I have love for you. And I said, I know you're busy because she and I, we keep up with each other, and she's just relaunched their company website, Hard Night Good Morning, and she's relaunched her product line. And she has been a huge supporter from day one, from the first time I reached out to her and said, listen, this is what I'm doing with the Fatherhood Awards. I would love for you to be a part of what we're doing. And she said, Mike, I'm all in. Her husband, who she calls her hot hubby, he's all in. And I tell everybody, man, she's a serious boss. And Deandra Simmons, y'all know, is from The Real Housewives. Hey,
how you guys doing?
We're here. Hi, Michael.
Hey, what's happening? And I told him, I said, man, I just need you to give me a couple of minutes.
I got it. We got you.
To jump in, man, and come say hi to these ladies because they love y'all. And when I told them who we had at the Fatherhood Awards, man, they lost their minds when I said y'all were a part of it.
Well, you know, we're always ready to be a part of it anytime you want us.
And we apologize. We have 2 young women who wasn't able to make it tonight. They had an emergency, so
Yeah.
if she does too, but we hold it down.
That's all good. Hey, so I'm assuming Sade is somewhere in the background running the show.
Yeah.
Hi.
How you doing?
Love it.
Come on, the housewives. You're my favorite.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
She's my favorite too.
You are a real man. Yes, you are real. You from the South?
Northeast, but lived in the South a lot.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, so look, I just asked him, I said, man, look, because she's all day today, they've been running their business. And now, Jeremy, you're going to have to help me out with this, man, because I know you've received an award like 7 years in a row for photography that has to do with actually being there on the scene during war. What's it called, man? Help me out.
Yeah, I was awarded the 7-time military photographer of the year. One person's come close. They won it 3 times. But what I'm more proud about is lasting 5 years with this hottie.
I love it, man. Look, I love it. But
I was a combat photographer in the military. I did 21 years in the Air Force.
Yeah, man. Hey, salute, man. Thank you so much for everything, and thank you, man. Not just for serving the country, man. Thank y'all for always showing up at the Fatherhood Awards, man. Yeah.
Well, we love what you do, Michael, and we've known each other. I don't know, ladies, if you knew that we've known each other since we were in high school together.
Yeah.
And Michael always has had such a wonderful, he's just got a great spirit. He's a wonderful human being. He was that way in high school. He wasn't crazy and wild like some of these other people. He was kind of together. He still has it together. And he's such a great example of a father and a husband. And he loves his wife. He just is somebody that everyone, it doesn't matter if you're Caucasian, African, everybody just looks up to you because you're somebody that is a wonderful person to emulate, Michael. And I love that about you and what you've done for your community, for the Dallas community. And that's why when you said to me, would you want to be involved in the Fatherhood Awards? I said yes. And unfortunately, last year I had surgery, so I couldn't come. So Jeremy got to go.
Hey, Jeremy held it, boy. He held his own, too. We're going to have to release some of that video clip so you can see. He held his own.
Hey, but Michael, seriously, D'Angel's right. And when we get asked to do things here or there, we don't do anything that our heart's not in. And you have put us to where our heart is in it, and we believe in you, and we definitely believe in and see the results of what you're doing.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And even when he left last year, he said, look, man, I got to get, wifey had surgery, but you got me. He said, you got me. And they always show up. They don't ask nothing of me. I'm trying to take them to lunch or dinner as soon as this COVID thing slows down. And just want to let y'all know, man, I appreciate it. And I know y'all been working all day because I've been jumping in and out on the stuff that y'all been doing.
Taking your time out to give us your time.
Yeah.
And also, we are proud to be a part of your growth.
Yes, absolutely. We're excited, just like you guys, in regards to the Fatherhood Awards. And they actually, so today, DeAndrea, we was just talking to him about protecting our protector. And
yes, I heard that, yes.
You guys are discussing a hard topic right now.
Yeah, it's a tough topic, man.
We was, but you know what? I actually wanted to go further into the next conversation that, there are some things. I don't know if you guys know anything about Boosie.
Lil Boosie?
Yes.
Lil Boosie?
Yeah.
What is it?
Hey, Jeremy, when we go out to eat, I'm gonna have to bump some Lil Boosie. I don't even have him in the playlist, but we're gonna have to bump some Lil Boosie, man.
All right.
I keep up with the dude because he says some shocking things, and just to try to keep the pulse of what's happening in the culture, you gotta tune in to some Lil Boosie every night.
Boosie, okay.
Well, on shocking things, there's some controversy things that he is doing and stating as well. And we kind of wanted to bring it to light, just to get your guys' input on what you may think. Mm-hmm. So recently there was a video that he posted, and it came about him talking about his son. and some things that he was allowing his son to do sexually at a young age. And
Basically, to just
How old is his son?
directly saying he's 7, 8 years old. He pretty much have 12-year-olds, right? He has a 12-year-old son, and with 12-year-old, he allows his 12-year-old son to have sex, pretty much.
yes, and he allows
What?
he
No,
allows
no.
to
At age 12, man, I can't look. I can't co-sign that at age 12 on.
Not in my house.
Yeah,
That's all I can say. I can't tell what other people do in their house, but in my God-loving house, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I think you have to train them up, man.
thinking about our fathers, right? And the reason why we brought it up is just because the contradicting and controversial activities that's occurring is affecting our young boys when it comes to them looking up to their fathers. And the things that they have to put in place, what we're putting in place is setting examples for, and what we look up to our men to do, you know, it kind of is like you don't want your daughter going through this or dealing with this, but it's okay for your son to deal with
It's
this.
kind of like a double standard.
And it's a double standard.
Yeah.
Well, I think what you guys were discussing earlier as we were listening in, your hard topic that you're talking about, I think Michael was right with the whole, it starts within the house, within the culture.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what race you are, what person. Right. It's a tragedy. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I think what you said, it starts within. And
when you think about a 12-year-old boy, the emotional maturity of a 12-year-old boy? I mean, they should not be having sex. First and foremost, for that. And they don't understand the responsibility of what that means and what the outcomes and consequences are. Not only just say there could be pregnancy if they're not using protection, but even there's emotional things that happen, that they can't handle that mentally. Okay. So that should be something that, we're Christians, so we believe, we believe by the Bible. Yes, we were doing things we should have been doing when we were.
Not I, no.
At the same time, I think you need to be in your household. If you are a believer, then you need to show your children or be an example to them with your marriage and, what the right thing is to do. And whether you're not a Christian or you are a Christian, it really doesn't matter. It really matters what is right. That is not right. It comes down to values, and then that also leads, if you're going to be sexually promiscuous, that can lead to diseases, that can lead to drugs, that can lead to not doing well in school, not performing well in school. There's so many things because emotionally you're not mature enough to be able to handle those responsibilities.
So can I ask you, both of you young men, because
I ain't but 25.
I'm pushing 50 over here.
You guys have sons of your own?
Wait, say it again. I didn't hear the question.
Children, sons, or children of your own?
Yeah, I have 2 boys.
You got 2 boys?
Yep, 21 and 24 right now.
Oh, they're much older. Much older. Okay, that's good. So
and I have no biologicals and a couple of godchildren.
Okay, so they look up to you. So
me, I don't have any. I have 2 stepsons.
Okay. Yes, Deandra. The reason why I asked is because I think our men have it the hardest right now, and so I just want to know, what are some major steps or things that you implemented in these men or these young men growing
your men,
and raising them, just so people can hear, because it's definitely needed now in the times that we're in more than anything.
Or in his case, because he was gone so much because he was in the military, he was deployed, now married to me and how we live our lives, maybe if it had been different, what he would have done differently if he had been home. And looking back, saying, okay, I think he could look back.
I was gone a lot. So raising my kids, I was always there. I was trying to be the coach. I'd coach their soccer team, stuff like that. But I was, in the wars and travel on for my job. But I'd have to honestly say, first and foremost, you need to have that good woman. Somebody that's going to be that rock there, whether I come home and they're raising, the children or whatever. I it's hard. This is a touchy subject for me because with all these accolades and everything that I've done, I feel right now is when I'm becoming the best father that I've ever become. I always look back and I feel I made lots of mistakes and I would beat myself up over it. And I didn't do anything wrong. I was a good father, but I just wasn't there. But I'm beating myself up. Why wasn't I there more? And reading the Bible and Deandra introduced me. Like, I've always been a Christian, but really have gotten into it and become a big follower and stuff. And it's helped me to kind of let that go. Yeah. And now I'm able to stop feeling pity for myself or them and rekindle this amazing relationship with them to help grow and foster.
Yeah, that's good, man. You know, one of the things I remember TD Jakes was saying, he put out this CD called man something. It'll come to me. Emotions. He put out a CD called Emotions. And there's a section in that CD where he says, you know, a boy needs a father, but needs his father, but a man does too. You know, so I think that kind of like, even Jeremy, what you're seeing is, man, look, you know far more at 50 than we knew, you know, at 25, right? Right. And you look back and you say, man, if I knew this then, and now I have this information, and I can share this with my son. Right. You know, that's how you redeem the time with that, you know. And man, I have some guys, which is, you know, part of the reason why I did the Fatherhood Awards. Man, I saw guys going through it, and by no means is any one of them perfect. Right. But I just saw a lot of them do it, man. I got a buddy, man. He has 2 boys. They just graduated. You know, both of them are in college. One is 1 year or 2 years older than the other. And, you know, man, you want to train your child up in the way that they should go. And that's what we do, right? Or that's what.
Do as I say, not as I did.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's the thing, is that when you know wisdom says what I didn't do was better, then that's what you tell them. You know, you give them the wisdom, and then still be honest and say, look, man, that ain't what I did, but I'm telling you what's the right way and what's better. And I won't pretend like the culture we live in, man, everything like what's the girl name? Megan Thee Stallion. Right? And that doggone savage goes hard in the paint. But man, if you're 12 years old and you watch Megan Thee Stallion video, which I'm sure they see, man, and you coming into puberty and you don't know what's going on with my body, what is this? But I like it. I don't know what it is, but I like it. So, you know? and so I don't want to say that, you know, I don't agree with Boosie's stance and how he's raising it, but he's not my child. You know, Jeremy said that, man, he's not my child. And man, this generation is fighting some things that we just didn't fight.
Mike, you bring up, I want to say something, Mike, because you brought up something that was really, really great, because this generation, he's not our child, but I still think having these discussions needs to happen, because we need to hold our people accountable. Whether it's politics, whether it's everyday person running around, we don't hold people accountable anymore. So it's okay to lie. It's okay to go out and have sex. It's okay to do all this stuff.
It's okay to shoot somebody and not be held accountable too. So this is the problem. This is the problem. A little bit of impropriety or whatever, a little bit of bad action, and leads into other things. And just like
we need to hold our people accountable.
Everyone, it doesn't matter, you know. And we have such division in this country, and it just sickens me, because I mean, Mike, we went to school, we grew up together.
Yeah.
Half of the school was African American, wouldn't you say about right? And then there was, I don't know, there was Hispanics and the Caucasians, the rest of them, I don't know what happened. But we all got along. We didn't have any racial problems in the 1980s. And I mean, I don't understand. This is crazy what's happening right now. It's like we're going back 100 years. I don't know why. And it's making me, it's so unfortunate, because we're just hurting ourselves as a community. And I mean, as a nation, and it makes me so grieved in my heart, because people automatically assume things about me now because of the stuff going around, this division stuff.
Right.
It's not true at all.
Right.
And, it's awful. And I don't know how we can help or what we can do. I'm doing, working with you and other things, working with Dee Dee. I mean, I always try to do things to help and to talk about it because
this right here is what's going to help. This is our platform here. This is our platform now, especially with COVID going on. This is now the new platform.
Yeah.
Hey, the lipstick then bringing some more smoke. That's what they do, man. So just having that but hey, even back to the Boosie conversation, man. And Jeremy, you said, hey man, we have to hold people accountable, right? If Boosie wasn't taught himself, he just doesn't have it to teach somebody else, right? Now, having said that, Boosie didn't have no problem chiming in on what he thought Dwayne Wade should be doing.
Exactly.
We need to hold Boosie accountable. Boosie, holler at the lipstick then. We'll do this again and we'll have a conversation, man. So and cause see that what's crazy is this. I agree with Boosie on the D Wade situation, right? I mean, I think a child at 3, 4, 5, 12 is just too young for you to come out and publicize and just do it the way they did that and to make that kind of decision. Likewise, I disagree with him on what he's saying he's letting his child do.
Right. So there goes the contradiction right there.
Yeah.
But on top of that, we like the lipstick den. One thing I can say is we hold each other accountable with our children.
Okay.
Yes.
If that's a good thing. Family, we are the protectors. Right. And so it starts within our community, it starts within us. Like anytime if I don't see something, my child might be being disrespectful or doing something, she has all rights to be able to
I'll call her and like, are we on TikTok doing this?
Hey, y'all bringing that back. That's that's coming full circle. Cause the whole neighborhood would whoop me. And then when I got home, I had to get it again.
And again, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it helped keep everybody accountable when it was like that, when more people were involved. But everybody's so more selfish now and just thinking about their self and their livelihood that we don't realize it's not just about us. It's about everyone around us. That's the only way we're going to survive. It's the only way we're going to be able to have growth in this community and in the world that we live in, period.
Do you guys feel like when everyone started deciding to mind their own business is when it kind of started getting worse?
Turning the left cheek,
like they didn't see anything.
Well, I think that's the hard part. And as a photojournalist, I walk out of this door unbiased as much as possible to go cover something, not one side or the other.
Tell them what you found recently. That's a bad thing.
No, but it comes down to it's hard because now we're in that mode where we're fearful to say, hey, I just saw that guy steal. Like I should report him, but we turn the other cheek in fear of maybe we get shot, maybe something happens to our family. We're in I don't know the answers. I just feel you try in your heart to do the right thing, right? Right thing and lead by example.
I think the other problem too is what Jeremy didn't cover is that reporters now are reporting on their feelings and their emotions instead of the actual facts. So they will say, say our president or this person's a horrible person and this is why. That's not your job as a reporter. Your job as a reporter is to say, this person did X, Y, and Z, and that's it. And then you, as the community, then you make the decision. They don't need to tell you what they think about it. And that's a new thing recently.
Look at the case you guys were talking about today with the mud. And how different you're getting. Why is a reporter coming in and giving me his take on it? Right. I don't need his take on it. I need the facts. I want to see the facts. Don't lead me one way or the other. That's what we're doing to ourselves, and that's where we're taking ourselves down.
I totally agree with that. I totally see it. I even see the news doing that with weather, right?
It's like it's
crazy. they want to, but then again, if we look at let me back up. This is how I see, the news and what they do now, right? They're selling news. They're selling fear and they're selling news. That's kind of what I see. And they're not just reporting the information, they're doing exactly that. What angle can excite the most conversation to get a retweet or whatever it is, instead of doing exactly what, you know, a reporter is supposed to do, just report the facts.
But not even just that. It's everything. It's so hard for me to turn on the news or just look up things on the web because everything is so negative. Like, what happened to reporting the good things that's going on? What happened to reporting, you know, things that's happening in the community that people can look up to and be like, okay, so maybe I can join this type of society. Maybe
for an example, I had a friend, he decided that he wanted to feed the homeless. He decided to record himself while he was doing it because he wanted to start putting out good media.
Okay.
So he put it out, but he was getting bashed for that. He was getting bashed like, oh, you shouldn't have recorded giving back.
Yeah.
He just wanted to show a good thing because there was so many negative things.
Right. Yeah. So now people are saying, oh man, you just doing that to be seen, right? But
that's the problem. That's social media. Social media is a big problem. So
yeah, and I know y'all have to deal with it on a different level.
Okay, well, I could literally walk in front of a bus, save someone's life, lose my 2 legs, and somebody would have something bad to say about it, like I did it for publicity or I did it for this. You can't do anything right. I mean, it's horrible.
And I think where we are now, man, is that we definitely have to have tougher skin, right? Because if you don't have the tougher skin, it's gonna bother you. You know, like your friend who went out. He knew what his purpose was. Look, I want to incite people to do some good things, some happy things to get off this news, because I actually quit watching it, man. I've tuned out of all of this COVID stuff and all this, you know, I mean, of course I hear it, but I mean, that is not what I'm consuming, right? I'm looking at the Aldives over in Portugal trying to get wifey to go take a trip. That's what I'm doing.
The trips are 50% off right now.
Hey, I tried to tell her, I said, baby, look, we can go get some round trip rail tickets for $150, but you know, she hit me with that side eye again, like, nah, we ain't going nowhere right now.
One of the things that I love to do is Sunday morning, while we're getting ready for church, it's CBS Sunday Morning News. They have that program, and it is nothing but like an hour or so of beautiful stories.
Okay.
Uplifting stories. It's really just local towns to, I mean, just everything. It's just nice, feel good stories.
Look, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Hey, look, ladies, it's definitely your show. I don't want to, you know, direct y'all show, but I asked them for a few minutes. Did y'all have some questions y'all wanted to ask them?
Yeah, you directed it all.
Okay.
Let them fly.
Mike, we was already prepared for you. No worries.
Okay, cool.
No, so DeAndrea, what is it that you have going on outside of?
It's Deandra.
DeAndrea, I'm so sorry.
I had a producer in the background.
Since you've been hanging with us so much, she put a little something in there. That DeAndrea, you know.
DeAndrea, okay.
I call her Dondra.
Well, I'm glad we was corrected.
Hey, Dee told me what the other name is, Jeremy, but you know, I don't want to miss.
Let me know that one.
What's the other name? I don't know now. I'm worried.
But hey, ladies, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What is it that you have going on outside of the housewives?
So, I'm just really working on my 2 businesses, Hard Night Good Morning and Ultimate Living. New website launched today on Hard Night Good Morning, working on the Ultimate Living one. I have some big meetings with major retailers I'm very excited about. In our business, this has been the best month or best week in the last week. Believe it or not, even through COVID, I've had so many people supporting the brand. I've been doing lives on Instagram and Facebook, and it's really engendered a goodwill and just commitment to my brand from other people, and they see how committed I am because I'm talking about my product so much. Then Jeremy and I also produced a movie called My Brother's Crossing with a gentleman named Tony White here in Dallas, and that will be released. It was supposed to be released on Easter weekend because it was a story of hope and forgiveness, and now it's going to be released July 17th. And speaking of, while we're here, and I didn't think about talking about this, but it's time to talk about it. Now it's a great place. So the story is an African-American pastor who is taking his son home from a basketball game and hits a Caucasian pastor and his wife and kills them. And the story is based around what happens in the town and how people judge and how people riot and all that kind of stuff. Yet the actual family of the Caucasian pastor extends grace and forgiveness and even pays his fine at the end of the court day. Well, I'm not supposed to tell you that. Anyway, it's very
It's horrible.
Edit that part out. We gotta edit that.
I need to see that.
It's called My Brother's Crossing, and we're so excited to be a part of it because it's a faith-based movie. But it really is needed because with all the division, and Jeremy was a photographer on the Amber Geiger trial. So he was there in the midst of all that going on. And then we have this wonderful story now that shows a different view of hope and forgiveness. And there was hope and forgiveness in the Amber Geiger trial too at the end, you know. So those are the stories we want to tell, is the good stories, not there are the bad stories too, but we want to be part of telling good stories and how people can change and hearts can change and lives can change. And forgiveness is really where this country needs to be going. Forgiveness is how we're going to heal everybody. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what we're doing next. What else are we doing? We're doing a lot of stuff.
She amazes me.
Because you're mad at me, so I told the story.
No, it's good. It was great.
And then Jeremy he's still working with Mercury One Foundation. They're doing a museum. He's doing all their photographs, and he's been doing that. And then I'm also getting back into acting. I have a big audition coming up, but I can't tell you what it's for. So very excited about it. And so that's going to be I came back when I did Housewives. I was an actress before, and I wanted to get back into acting. It was kind of a way for me to do that and build a brand and a platform. And so now I'm able, as soon as COVID's over and my agents are working, they're working from home, but my manager's not really working as much because there's not many roles coming out down the pipe. But so hopefully I get back on the stage, which is my favorite place to be, in the theater, and maybe on the small screen, and we'll see. And that's exciting.
That sounds good. Yeah. Go ahead. We came across a podcast today.
Yep.
And we actually was just listening to you guys earlier on Twitter. I don't give a rip.
Yes. That's kind of an irreverent. So I do comedy too, and that's where I do the comedy. And my mother's decided she thinks it's a little too raunchy and irreverent for her, but it's really funny. She's like, I don't need y'all. I don't want to hear about y'all having sex and all that stuff. I go, Mother, we're married. We're married. We can have sex. We don't do anything wrong. We're married. So it's kind of fun. It's a funny, it's my funny kind of thing with my friend Amy Vanderoff. So we enjoy that.
See that other side of you. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Yeah.
That's the side I fell in love with.
Yeah, see, that's like even what y'all seeing right now. It's two totally different people at the Fatherhood Award.
How's Mama D going?
Pardon?
How's your mom? How's Mama D going?
She's good. She's really good. She's been doing a lot of little live videos with me. And we did, I don't know if you guys saw this, but we did Watch What Happens Live last night together. So
we're gonna go watch it. We're gonna go watch it.
We were on Annie Cohen's last night. At the very end, we did the mazel for the week. And I had her, she did her thing. And then I came up and I'm like, Mom, that's my star. What do you think you're doing? It's my star. So it's kind of funny. So we did that last night, and we're working on a couple of books and cookbook and another show, like a digital show, cooking show. So.
Well, you guys got so much going. You guys sound really busy.
I told you when I was telling people I call her a 4-letter word, and a buddy of mine, he was like, man, her husband gonna get you. I said, man, she's a boss. What are you talking about?
And they're not here to be nowhere but around bosses. So
yeah.
Inspiring that you're doing that, because kind of the field that you're in is where we're trying to go as a group.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's inspiring hearing everything that you have. We know that we can juggle it. I love it.
We can juggle it because we do have a lot of other businesses that we are trying to branch out and do as well. And so
everything that you're doing, I'm like, okay, it's possible.
like somebody who's doing the eyelashes.
I put mine on, but I have no hair extensions. I mean, this is my hair. I just had to do it. But
one of the ladies in the lipstick den actually has their own eyelash company, right?
We dropped our line about 2 weeks ago. It's called Honey Wink Lashes.
We need to try those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing.
And then we're working on a lot of stuff. So just as we go, as we grow with you guys grow with us.
I mean, I will tell you, it's, I'm 51 years old. It's hard. It's really hard. And I have days where I cry because I'm so tired. And I just think, how much more can I push myself? And then I see this time during COVID, when everybody else slowed down, I actually got busier because I was working, really focusing on my business. But I know that
it's been the best thing
for me to really focus that time on my business. But I'm pulled in so many different ways. It's a lot. And some days I just crumble and cry, and then I have to pull myself back up and go again. But I know that
it's okay to bring. That's what your protector is there for. You have a protector. I
know that God has a higher purpose for my life, and I don't know everything, and it's not all revealed yet. But I feel like I'm on the right path, and I think it's really the time in my life when I need to work the hardest, because it's the time when I'll be the most successful. So I'm very committed to that, and it'll be okay. I'll make it. It's just, like I said, I haven't had a vacation in a long, long time, and I learned I really need to start taking a little more time for myself, because I'm going to burn out if I don't. And that's
kind of what's going to be crazy. As soon as it's over, everybody is going to be on vacation. Vacation from a vacation.
That's right, exactly.
Everything's going to be shut down because everybody's now on vacation.
Right, everybody's going to be on vacation, and I'm like, oh man. So we truly appreciate you guys for joining us.
Thank you. We're so glad to be here tonight. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love you, Michael, too. Thank you so much.
Hey, love y'all, man. I talked to well, listen, before y'all jump off. I spoke with the city of Garland. So next week they're gonna have a conversation to kind of see what the directive is coming back from Dallas County in reference to July 25th and the capacity over at the atrium for the Fatherhood Awards. So we'll definitely be doing that. But Deandra, these young ladies, I've also invited them to come out and be presenters at the Fatherhood Awards. So yeah. Yes, so you guys y'all get to meet each other face to face. Yeah, if the schedules still permit, y'all get to see each other face to face.
I love it. Well, I can't wait to do that. That'll be great, and we'll be there. So okay.
All right. Hey, love y'all. I appreciate it.
Love you. Bye, ladies. Goodbye. Thank you.
Awesome to meet you. Bye-bye.
Okay. How do I? So I just do this. Oh, they do. Okay.
I think they clicked. Somebody clicked the wrong button. It's just me. Everybody left.